Well, hello! Would you like to know what we've been up to lately? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy campers.
And after losing a combined weight of more than 200 pounds,
we realized we had so much more energy for activities.
Come along with us as we explore the great outdoors.
And join us on a brand new adventure. And this one has us living like, what, Cousin Eddie from National Lampoon's Vacation.
So it's been a little while since we have made a video, and we thought we would give you a little update. You may have seen our video on where I installed the battery system with the charger in my truck, and I mentioned that we bought a new property. Well, there's a lot going on since we made that video, because now we are living pretty much full-time in our Alliance Delta 294RK.
We're full-timers now.
We're full-timers. So we're up here at our property in Arcadia. We purchased 6 acres because we want to be more self-sustainable. We want to grow our own food. We want to have our own animals. We want to live in the country.
But with that comes a hefty price tag, one that we can't pay. So we bought a fixer-upper, truly a fixer-upper. And so in order for us to demo it properly, we have to have some place to live because we cannot live inside of the house right now.
So because we're living in the house or in the RV, and because we do not have hookups here at the property, we're having to rely on our Big Beard battery system. So this is not a sponsored video by Big Beard Battery.
So thankful we have them though.
Actually, today's video is sponsored by Moride, but we'll get more into that a little bit later. But I wanted to give a shout out to Big Beard Battery. So you may have seen the video where I installed all of our Big Beard batteries and our Victron inverters. I'll leave links for them down below. The main battery one I'll leave up over Rachel's head. So we have 4 of the 300 amp hour Big Beard batteries. We have the Victron inverter, and we're plugging our RV into the house in a 15 amp outlet. But because I don't know the electrical system in the house and we haven't gotten that far yet, we're having the Victron only pull 10 amps from the house. So we're living in Florida. The temperatures have been 100 degrees.
We've already started sweating as we are taping this video right now.
Yeah. So we're running 1 AC on our system, only drawing the 10 amps, relying on the solar during the day, the 10 amps at night, and we are doing amazing with electric. It's been cold in the RV. We've kept the RV during the day. We keep the temperature because we're in the house somewhere around 78 to 80 degrees. At night, we switch from the main AC to the bedroom. We drop the temperature in there to 68 degrees. And it's funny that because of the solar during the day and running the AC, and it's pretty much never turning off. It's never turning off. And we're only drawing 10 amps out of the house. The batteries will drop to about 60%. And then at night, because it's cooler here at night, it's been like 78 to 85 degrees.
It's been nice.
And we're only running the small AC in our bedroom, and we drop it low. By the time we wake up in the morning, the batteries are back up to 100% from the 10 amps in the house because the AC isn't drawing a lot of electricity.
You've got to love it. And it's been nice to be able to do all of our cooking. I use my dishwasher. Like, it's just been a really nice system.
But without the Big Beard battery, we would not be able to. We have lots of love
bug season.
So it's love bugs right now. And at least it's not mosquitoes. I'll give it that.
I'll take love bugs.
But without the Big Beard battery system, this would not be, we wouldn't be able to do it.
No.
Because it's just too hot and you can't run your ACs on a 10 amp unit. And I certainly don't want to have to run a generator all the time. So let's take you inside of the house and show you what's going on.
So really, we can't do this house justice until we go back in time to when we first bought it. We really need some footage of how bad this place looked.
Why don't we do that right now?
Here it is. Here is the house. We are coming through the back entrance, but it is the front entrance as far as like the road and where you would park your car. I'm not sure why they sat it this way, but here we are. This is the kitchen, or an homage to the kitchen. It is pretty raunchy, but we do love to fish, so there is that.
Now, you guys should be grateful there's no such thing as smell-o-vision.
Yes, because I believe that we are right now just absolutely filling our lungs with cigarettes right now.
Now, we will be wearing masks and stuff. We're just taking the masks off to show you this place.
Now, we have had to wait until 11:30 to show you these things because there's not a lot of lights. And when it is dark out, like first light, it's not light enough to light up all of the area.
There's like 3 lights in the whole house.
Yes, I actually remember my mom having something like this, although I don't remember it being, hanging over the table. There's part of our kitchen. It's right there. We are super thankful, though, that the air conditioner is working so that we do have some air circulating. It is very hot here in Florida. So the carpet pretty much ends there for a little bit. This entire room in here doesn't even have any carpet, and the magic behind this curtain
is the bathroom.
Oh, there's a light. That's pretty cool.
Everything's coming out.
Everything.
All the walls are coming down. So this is one of the bedrooms. We don't know what we're gonna do with this bedroom aside from demolish it and start over. But I mean, you can just see everything is yellow from cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. But it's the property.
It's the property. And I keep going back out the front door. I was having a moment this morning that was like, did we just do a terrible thing? And then Joe goes, hey, your grandma's here. And I was like, what are you talking about? And there right at that front door is gardenia bushes, which my grandma, that was her favorite flower. My grandfather used to make sure that he always brought in a gardenia bush or a gardenia flower every single morning for her, would float it in water and put it next to her cup of coffee. Super romantic, that couple. Here is another room.
It's weird the way the doors open into each other.
Yes. It's also weird that the closet is one unit, but there is this pillar in front of them all. This one is definitely dark.
There's no lights.
With no lights. But it's pretty much like the one next door. Only less windows. Even more creepy. That was a child's room, by the way. The one that was completely dark.
They left a chair.
They left a throne. I don't know who was the king that sat in this chair. But there's that. Then through these windows, you can start to see some of the yard.
Well, you really can't see through the windows.
We're definitely going to be moving that little house. It's super cute. We're going to make that, a chicken coop of sorts, hopefully. Now, let's see where the magic happens, Joe.
Not right now, thank you.
Not right there. Yikes. So this is the master bedroom. Master of what? We don't know. And then I want you to take a look at the closet that I think Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City would be very proud to own. Ta-da, a walk-in closet. I actually messaged Benazati to say I've got some vitamin G in the middle of all of this, vitamin gratitude as he talks about. At least we don't need the crushes that are in the bedroom closet. So that's a pro. Then we have no carpet. I don't know if this used to be a carpeted bathroom.
No, it was some kind of floor.
But this is just the wood plank floor, and they painted it this lovely shade of blue. But here is the master tub, the turlet. We've got his and hers disaster sinks and a holding cell.
I don't even know what to say.
I don't even know what to say either. And there doesn't look like there's been a lot of even shelving. So I don't know what we do with this.
It looked pretty bad. I mean, it was a haunted house for all intents and purposes. So right now, so far for the last 2 weeks that we've been working on this property, we've really concentrated our efforts into just demoing the place down to the studs.
I will say, as we're going inside, Our dog Tabitha is absolutely loving this house.
She is loving it. She definitely has a full-time surveillance job. As you can see, it is actually, this should be completely eaten up. If we were back at home in Coconut Creek, oh my gosh, she eats her food so fast, but now she paces herself because really she's on from one activity to the next.
So we're coming in through what would be the back door.
Yes.
And you can see we've demoed everything. We've gone down to the studs.
We have now, it used to be what, a 1, 2, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom house. It's now a no bedroom, no bathroom house. There is a toilet, but we've actually unplugged it.
So this would be like the laundry room area.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel's standing in what will be our closet.
But what used to be a mud area and a pantry and
well, if you back up one step, that was the closet, and then there was a wall.
That was all you had.
And then come out past the beam. That was the mudroom and part of the laundry room.
Yes. So now we're making it all a closet because closet.
And then this piece right here where this wider opening was, that was like a pantry or linen closet inside the bathroom. That's just becoming part of our big closet. Yes. We're closing that off. So this was the master bathroom.
And there was a big tub here, like a Roman tub, but it was in such sad shape.
It was plastic. Worse than what you would find in an RV.
Then you had, right? It was totally worse than what we have in Alligator. Like Alligator has a fantastic bathroom compared to what this bathroom was. Speaking of plastic, there was his and her sinks right here, both of them plastic. It was terrible. Like the fixtures were all broken and cracked. It was
again, people talk about quality of items in an RV. The quality of what they had in here was 10 times worse than anything I've seen in an RV.
Same.
And because of that, the owners, when they would have a leak, their solution was
wrap a
rag around it. On their plastic tub that they had, they actually just put a fiberglass patch over it, but it's still cracked. And that caused a water leak, so we have to pull up this wood floor here and fix that.
Now we're moving into the master bedroom, and it's a good size. It was a good size before, but I didn't like how they laid things out. It was really hard to even enjoy that you have a window at all in this room. Everything was really dark. No lighting really worked. They just relied on a standing light that they would just plug into a wall outlet because this no longer works, and really none of the lights in the house worked. This is the family room, which is a nice size area for like a great room. And that's actually the front door of the house. It's just that the way that they turned the house is the back is towards the pond and the front is towards the road. So moving in here, this is where the kitchen was and the dining room. There was a wall that divided it here. We've eliminated that wall to make more of a great space and to be able to move the kitchen cabinets that ended here, hopefully all the way over to here.
And then this will probably just like be a little like nook area with the table, something like that.
So over here we have our youngest son, Caleb, is going to be moving with us to this area. So this is going to be his room. When we first got here, the closet came all the way to here, making it virtually impossible to bring in any decent sized furniture that's already put together. So in order for him to not feel so claustrophobic, we actually have already moved back the closet to this amount of space. He doesn't have a ton of clothes, and we can utilize armoires, different furniture for storage purposes if he needs it.
So one thing you'll notice is like this is what we're left with the demo is these little pieces where we have to still get down some sheetrock that's behind studs and remove the extra insulation.
So many staples, so many nails, literally just my hands are completely raw. Okay, so this is our guest room and it's looking really, really giant, Joe, because we actually took out the wall that goes into the guest bathroom. It's not always gonna be this way. We just needed to actually extend the wall a little bit for the shower and bath enclosure that we're putting in this space.
We're widening it by 6 inches. And they also here had a leak where he sort of patched it, but we're going to change out all of the floor in there as well. We're also going to move the toilet from there down to about where the sink was, and then move the sink over. But yeah, that it'll be a little bit wider, only about 6 inches extending into this room. And then we also over there completely took out the closet.
I think that we're sending the message, if you're staying in our guest room, like it's a guest room. Like we're not giving you enough room to stay.
Unless it's our grandbaby. She can stay as long as she wants.
Forever. The other person who got a closet removed from their care is Joe. This is actually Joe's office, and we eliminated the closet altogether. And here we understand that when you get rid of closets, you also get rid of some of the items that you could list if you were to resell this home. But even though we know that it's not going to be a real like 4-2 if you take out the closets, we're not interested in selling the place. We understand that this is it.
So yeah, you can also look, you probably saw it in the walkthrough video, but the owners were heavy smokers. And so everything is like this tingy yellow color from all of the nicotine and garbage. And so as soon as we're done with the demolition, we're going to be painting the ceiling with the shellac primer and then covering it with ceiling tiles. The only thing in this room is staying is this is the AC. And so what we're actually doing is we're going to close that back in, but we're going to make the return in here as well. So we're going to line all this with plenum. So that'll be an AC vent, another AC vent in here to suck the warm air out of my office because I do 3D printing and that generates a lot of heat. Originally, you can see on the other side of the scaffolding, the AC return was over there going into a kitchen cabinet. So we're going to move it from there to over there.
Okay, so that is the inside of the house. Let's take a look at the outside.
So yeah, this is the front. This is our road. The only thing that I'm not a super big fan of is that our road comes to the back of the house, not the front of the house.
Right. We would like to have a driveway that comes to the front of the house,
we'll
not
build
the back. We've got to get there because the other frustrating thing is not just because you're parking in the back. It seems smart because, like, let's say you go to the grocery store, you're going to come in the back of the house, and the first thing in the back of the house is that kitchen area. But it's the washer and dryer. And I also don't like a lot of people just coming in right to where your washer and dryer is.
You want to show your favorite feature of this property?
My favorite feature of this property is having a pond. I really did want to have a pond. And our pond is actually fed by 3 underground streams. When we got here on the property, there was just a ton of junk, old
chicken coops,
rabbit hutches. Everything just destroyed. A lot of garbage on this property. Before we moved in, 5 dumpsters of trash was taken off this property. We're talking yard trash. So that's just the beginning. That's the tip of the iceberg. So we're finding trash under every tree and leaf and branch. So we will continue to clean up the property, but we moved out all of that. We got rid of all of those broken down hutches and things. Everything here was completely covered with trees, so you actually couldn't see the pond very well from the house because everything was obscured. So we are in the process right now of taking down all those trees and the grasses around it. It also makes us feel a lot safer to know that when, not if, but when Tabitha wants to go for a swim, I can see
she's going in right now,
what she's swimming around.
Look, she will be in the water before we leave this section. She loves to just go and sit in the water. And so there are fish in here. What did they say? He's got bass in here, catfish.
We've got some bluegill. There is a big variety. Every time we come here, I see a different type of fish. So it's really nice to know that this is teeming with life oh, there she goes in to check it out. Certainly some little turtles are in here as well. Is there an alligator? Most likely, yes. Why? Because we live in Florida and pretty much every body of water pretty much has an alligator.
Now, with that being said, I don't think there's an alligator in here.
We haven't seen it yet.
It doesn't mean that there's not a possibility, but since we've been here for almost a month, we would have seen him. He would have come out on the bank. But we did find out one of our neighbors does have a pet alligator.
So the other thing that you'll see is right now we're in the wet season. We're still in where it's really hot. As it gets colder,
that's another time when you will see the alligators come out and come on the bank to sun themselves.
Yeah, so most likely we don't have an alligator because, again, we would have seen him at this point. But we do know that there are snakes in here. We have seen some snakes.
Yep.
But it's just normal. It's a part of Florida life. But this is a very big pond. And as Rachel said, it is fed by 3 underground springs. You can see we've just been slowly trying to kill things off. We're eventually going to work on getting the grass that's out of the pond so that we can really, really enjoy it. But it's nice to come out here and just look at it and see everything.
And we'd like to be able to build a bridge from one side to the other so that we can get into the other part of our land, which currently we have to walk around in order to access.
So over here, the old owner had horses at one point. So he does have this little horse stall, which we're gonna leave. He actually did leave a bunch of lumber. So he started using it as just storage area over here. And a lot of this stuff, he had so much junk because they were here for so long. So a lot of this kind of stuff we're going to take down. You can see, here's a better view from the other side. We've got a 40-foot storage container. We purchased that. That's a one-trip shipping container, 40 feet long. So that's where we're parking our RV. And I'll show you in a little while what we're doing for dumping. But then again, there's the house and everything. And this is all part of our property. So over here, I don't know, he must have been raising dogs or something. I'm in the middle of taking this part down, and we're just going to use this little overhang piece to store Rachel's mower.
I actually see that this is Kelsey's pig in 2012. So when we bought this property, there was a giant boar, a wild hog, one of those ones with the tusks and everything. And I believe that this is probably the piglet cage for this. And once it outgrew this, it was moved over into that pen.
So he had this little walkthrough. He also, you'll see, had double fences, which we're going to take down one because we don't need both, because this one is barbed wire, and then over there is a regular. We're going to take down this side so that we have access to this area, because again, it was just overgrown. So we've been slowly killing stuff off. We do need to mow the grass. So this over here is all ours. We'll show you that in a minute, but then we'll go this way and you can see the other side of the horse stall here that he had. So 2 stalls, and this is where he actually had that pig or hog. It was a wild hog. We actually had to write into our contract the hog had to be gone because it weighed over 500 pounds. And you can see he just had garbage everywhere.
So here we are in what will one day be a place where we keep our sheep and our chickens. Really looking for, and a cow and a donkey, but we're looking forward to that. So as we're doing all of this hard work, we have to keep the big picture in mind. It's going to be the future that we're working towards. So I'm excited. Obviously, we've got to keep mowing this property. We do have an implement on the back of our tractor that can help with that, because if you were trying to push mow this, forget about it.
Yeah, this actually has not been mowed since we bought the house. They mowed it the day before, but then we had so much rain I haven't gotten to it. I have a finish mower for our tractor. I may end up having to rent a bush hog, but we'll see how it goes. But you can see all of this is part of the property. You can see a little fence over there. Over here, that is just overgrown, but back there it looks like he was raising dogs. So there's a couple of old kennels built on decks. So that whole corner, all of that will eventually come down so that we have more property. Now Tabitha weighs 120 pounds. You can see how tall the grass is right now. But we've been slowly just trying to kill some of this stuff to get to underneath here. And then over here, that's the fence line for our property. This piece next to us is owned by the person where that house is, and he's got a few cattle. I think he's got, what, 3 cracker cattle?
Yes, he does, because that does help with taxes. If you can get your green belt if you do have a certain amount of animals on the property. As you can see, there's more trees here. We want to get to killing all the underbrush so that you can really enjoy the larger trees, because yes, they are providing a lot of shade, but as you can see, there's so much like under foliage that you can't enjoy the sitting spaces underneath these trees yet.
And then we won't walk all the way out to the front, but the property goes all the way out there to the other side of those trees. Over here was another pile of garbage he had that we made it mandatory disappear before we actually purchased the property. And they were literally doing it the morning that we closed. And you can see it's a pretty big pond. I like the shape of the pond. You know, it's not just a little hole in the ground.
No, it's very welcoming, and it really calls to me for sitting and fishing, relaxing, having a good conversation with somebody by the pond. And we're really looking for this to be more of a retreat, not just for us, but for our friends and family as well.
Let's go to the other side of the property. So, as we said, he just put garbage everywhere. It wasn't even just in one spot. So you can see he had a pile over here of wood, fencing. Over here, he had pallets. There's still bags of concrete that went hard. So we've been slowly just moving stuff out. Now over here, that's our burn pile, because we are allowed to legally burn our brush. So what we do is, as we start taking down trees in different areas, we bring it out here and we just light it on fire midday, right about when it's getting ready to rain, which sounds weird, but at least that will help control any fires and stuff. We have a lot to do here, and we're trying to concentrate on inside, but we also want to make sure we get sunshine. And so we try to spend 2 or 3 hours outside every day doing some of the outside work as well. But you can see over here in the corner, he had more garbage over here. There's another, like, remember over there I said that there was a dog kennel? Well, there's another one over there. So all of this will eventually have to come out. And again, when you knock all of this stuff down, which he's just let go, some of it I think to hide the garbage, and some of it because he just couldn't maintain the property anymore, we're gonna end up with a lot more property. But just inside of here, there's chairs. In this back corner, when we first saw the property, there was an RV, an old beat up RV. And we told them that had to go. And it looks like what they did was they emptied it out and they just threw the stuff they didn't want into the woods. So you can see a better shot over there of more of the garbage stuff that he has in here in the property. And then what we've been doing is slowly, as we find stuff, we've been pulling it out of the woods and making a pile here. And by making this pile over here, at least we can get to it easily to put into a dumpster. And we may even hire a few guys to come over, put it into trailers. There's a lot of people in the area that, you know, on their off work days, because we do have a lot of like farmers and stuff like that here, and where they only work like 4 days a week. So to make some spare money, some different people will come over, pay them a couple $100. They'll come with their trailer. They'll take all of the junk and take it to the dumpster. So we're just trying to centralize it all, but you can see where he just left all of this garbage. They even left a water tote, which I'm actually grateful for that. If we could clean it out, it's a nice way to have some reclaimed water for things. And again, here's more of the property here. And then over here is our well. And again, they have fences everywhere, but they don't make sense. Like, I don't understand the purpose of this half fence area. So this will probably come down, but we'll just have to move, you know, get the barbed wire off. One thing that we do have a lot of is fire ants.
We have more fire ants than we do love bugs, and I didn't think that that was humanly possible. But yes, that is something that we have to continue being vigilant about. We're definitely going to treat the area, because we want to make sure that everybody that comes to visit isn't getting eat up with fire ants. One problem with the water is we have a well, which is fine. We're happy with that. However, before we came, the water system didn't have any type of softener on it, no conditioning, so it just smelled like rotten eggs, and that was not going to work for me as far as like taking a shower or drinking water. So we've put in a brand new system, one that will take out the sulfur smell.
Now I will give a shout out to Blue Technologies, which is the water filter that we are using in our RV. We absolutely love it. It's a small, compact 3-stage system. They also have a softener available. And though it didn't completely eliminate the rotten egg smell, it definitely made it not as bad, because when we tried to take a shower in the house before we demolished everything, you literally came out smelling like you bathed in like year-old rotten eggs. I mean, it was horrible. So it greatly reduced it, and that's because they do different things to treat that sulfur smell. So I knew it wouldn't completely eliminate it, but it definitely made the water much better. And I don't know what we would have done without having that Blue Technologies filter system. Over here is another garbage pile that we actually unveiled yesterday. So fortunately we have the tractor, and we just, as we find piles, we go, what is underneath that pile?
It's really important for us to try to kill the weeds before we mow into a new area, because if you don't know what's underneath the area, you just think that it's tall grass, you take a mower in there and you're gonna wreck your mower.
So until we build some kind of a pole barn, this is where we're storing all of our different implements. We have our backhoe for our tractor here. Then over there we have our grapple, we have our finishing mower, our forklifts, and then over here we have our box blade. Speaking of houses,
yes,
do you want to show them the newest way we found to almost guarantee a divorce? Like the new way to test your marriage.
Yes, if you are looking to test your marriage because you're just thinking your marriage is going too smooth, I recommend one of these, which is a Cover Pro portable carport, because the instruction on this was absolutely nightmarish. Not great. And so there was a lot of crying involved in putting this together.
This is the front of the house technically, but we're gonna call it our backyard, because this is like the serene area aside from the pond.
It's definitely more relaxing, more serene out here. We sort of know when we're mowing where the garbage area is at this point and where are the safe areas to mow. So mowing this area is a relaxing experience, and walking through this area with all of the flowers and fruit trees that are on this property it's really nice. There's berries here, there's grapes here, we've got limes here, just a nice variety of plants. I will say that whoever lived here before certainly had a green thumb, and we are enjoying the benefits of that.
Now, he has this little building here, which was like, I guess, their grandbaby's little play area. And we actually told him we wanted him to leave it. We're going to take this fence down. Inside, they're storing more wood, things like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to use our pallet forks to lift this up. We're going to move it to a different area. We're going to put a big thing of chicken wire around, and we're going to turn this into a chicken house, at least for now. And we're used to having our chickens pretty much free range. They can do whatever they want. They put themselves to sleep. They like sometimes sleep on top of their chicken coop, but this area does have a lot of predators. You know, coming from Fort Lauderdale, we had hawks, but they never really seemed to bother our chickens. The only thing that we really ever had a problem with was possums. They did kill a couple of our chickens, but here we have hawks, we have eagles, we have panthers, coyotes,
Cougars.
Bobcats, cougars. So we are, at least at the beginning, going to have to really protect our chickens. You know, again, part of buying this farm is to be able to raise our own livestock. But we also want to care for them. We don't want them to be stressed out. We believe that, you know, raise livestock for food, and they should have one bad day. I mean, we want to have sheep, and what's nice about sheep is they've got all the grass in the world, and they can go out there and live their best life, and then they'll have their one bad day when it comes time for us to process it for our food. So what we're going to do is put this in an area, give them a giant run, maybe eventually let them out, because they'll learn, you know, they will go back in there at night, and we'll entice them in there with some lights. We don't encourage people to use lights to get egg production, but chickens are attracted to light. And so if you give them light, they will go to that light, and at least they'll learn to go into their chicken coop. We're just going to relocate it, because in this area, the plan is to do a big swimming pool. We don't want to do a below ground pool, because again, flood zone area. So we're going to do an above ground pool, but bury it halfway. And then we're going to do a lot of the decks coming off of the front of the house, coming over to the pool, because this is just the area where you can sit out on your porch and watch the grandchildren and just enjoy this amazing place that God has provided us with.
For now, the view is the dumpster. That's what we get to look at right now. But when we walk out here and I kind of smell the freshly cut grass and I see all of the flowers that are already here, I'm thinking about what's next, like what's the future of this property. And if there are things about this property that made us want to buy it, I know that in a couple years it can really be a place that lots of people can enjoy.
So as I said earlier, today's video is sponsored by MORryde. We've put some MORryde accessories onto the RV, and they're definitely making life a lot easier, especially because we are living in the RV right now. So I wanted to just show you some of the upgrades we've made. First of all, I'm really getting used to these folding steps. We really do like them. We did have one little issue with the steps, and that is because of where we're positioned, the RV is high, and basically the feet don't hit the floor. So you can look here, we have these legs, they're extended all the way down, and they're still not low enough. As a matter of fact, we had to build like a little wood platform to step up because it's so high. But these are actually extender legs. And those legs are available on the MORryde website. I will leave a link for them down below. They're not super expensive. And if you use our coupon code and link that's linked down below, you do get 7% off. But basically, what you end up doing is just removing your existing legs, and then you put the longer legs in. And it really does help in a situation where your legs are not long enough. We're actually going to be going up to Elkhart to MORryde to have some other upgrades done on our RV towards the end of October. And one of the things that we're going to be upgrading is these steps. Rachel wants to lift the steps so that she can just raise the steps up with one finger. And we're going to talk to them about possibly going from the 3-step system to the 4-step, because we have run into this in a couple of places where 3 steps wasn't just enough. But that just really has been amazing, the fact that we were able to get the extended legs. Now, the other thing that we've upgraded on the RV from MORryde is this safety rail. And I'm going to have Rachel tell you a little bit about it.
We do have an installation video coming out soon with this safety rail, but I just have to say, it has been a godsend. We are so thankful for it. My mom actually came and visited us, and she felt more confident getting in and out of the RV thanks to the safety rail. And I've got to say, I do too. I am taking laundry and laundry baskets. I've got the dog that I'm trying to help get in and out of the RV. And I really like having this all the way down. As I'm walking, I can always be holding on. And it just makes me feel a lot safer and more confident when I'm moving things in and out of the trailer, because it's not just me usually. I have a laundry basket in hand. I've got my, Stanley mug. I've got some tools. I've got like a bag that I'm carrying with me. And I just need to make sure that I have this safety rail in order for me to be safe.
So we really like the safety rail, especially the way it's able to extend very quickly. If you remember on our old RV, we actually had that handle that flips across the door. Sometimes that thing was a pain in the neck. And I do know that some people are concerned with those, that you can get locked in your RV. If maybe a kid wants to play a prank where they can fold it across your door and then you're trapped in the RV. That's actually not true. It's designed that if you are in your RV and somebody were to actually do that, if you gave a good hard enough push on your door, that rail will open up. But for us, it's more about just having something to grab on. The problem with that other handle is it's all the way up here. And if you're in a situation where we are right now, where we have to have this long extended step right now, it's nice to have something all the way down on the bottom to grab onto. Stowing it is super easy. All you have to do is, it's got this little safety pin for when you're in transit. And basically all you do is give a little push up here, and it slides up, goes down, and then you put the safety pin here so that it can't open up while you're in transit. So it looks good, and then all we do is pull out the pin when we get to where we want. We pull it out, and it extends. I actually find this easier to open and stow than when we had the regular one that goes over the door. I have one more upgrade that we've made from MORryde, and I think this is one of the biggest game changers we've installed onto Alley. So sorry about all the weeds back here, but landscaping is not on our priority list right now. Anyway, we put on the stabilizer jack here in the back, and this thing is really amazing. It simply goes into your receiver hitch right here, and it extends out. It's got a couple of feet right down here, and then you have a strap so it pulls it into place. And when you have this on here, you have no more bouncing inside of the RV. You know, living in the RV between Rachel and myself and then our 120-pound Labrador Retriever, sometimes the thing would rock a little bit, and not for a good reason. And having this on here has really pretty much eliminated the sway. And what's really nice is when you want to travel, you don't even have to take it off of the receiver hitch. It simply folds up, it links together, and it just sits here on the back. And Moride actually has a few different attachments for this. So if you don't have a trailer hitch on the back, they have a couple of other products, including a brand new one that mounts right onto the I-beam of your trailer. So make sure you use the link down below. Go check out all of the Moride products. Also, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and hit that bell notification button, because like I said, we've got some major upgrades coming to Alley, all because of Moride products, and I'm really excited to share those with you in the coming months. So one of the biggest concerns we had with bringing the RV here and living in it while we were working on the house, I guess you can call this driveway surfing or mooch docking, but one of the biggest concerns we had was dumping the tanks, because I don't want to have to take the RV just, you know, every couple weeks and go dump our tanks. In our house in Fort Lauderdale, we actually have the clean out over on the side of the house, and we could just dump that. Well, the problem is here we actually have a septic system, and our septic system is up there. As a matter of fact, it's at the top of that hill over there. Well, the bottom line is poop only runs downhill. Our RV is lower than the septic system, so that wasn't going to work. So I got this here on Amazon. It cost me about $60. There are like some more expensive versions that have high ratings that were somewhere around $130. But this one seems to be the same, just with a different label on it. And basically, what this is it's a macerator pump. So we hook it up here, and then you have this piece here which plugs into the cigarette lighter of your RV or of your truck. I pull the tractor over because I put a cigarette lighter adapter into our tractor. And you plug this in, and then there's a little switch, and it basically takes all the poop and it grinds it up. And then from there, it pumps it through this garden hose. And then this garden hose, we simply stick into the clean out port on our septic system. Once we've done the poop, then we go ahead and do the gray tanks. And it is working very well. We have to empty the gray tank about every 3 to 4 days because we're taking showers in here. The black tank we've emptied once. It's done really well. The only problem I'm having with this is the fact that I do have to pull over my truck or my tractor to do this. So I think what I'm gonna do is, when I have a little bit of time, I'm gonna hook in like a little J-plug up here in the pass-through and just convert this cigarette lighter attachment to a J-plug, put a longer cord on it, and then I could just plug it right into the pass-through. And this way I don't have to bring over the truck or anything like that. I can just use the batteries off of the RV. But that was one of our biggest concerns, and because of that, Rachel was showering in the house for a little while until I demolished the bathroom. But now that we've got this going, it seems to be working really, really well. So how have you really felt about living in our RV?
I did not think that I would adjust to RV life as quickly as I have. I absolutely love it. Number one, we have an amazing bed. That Brooklyn bedding mattress makes me not feel like we're camping at all. We have a good night's sleep every single night, which is very restorative, and we need that for the next day. The fact that this layout gives you a distinct bedroom and a distinct great space has been amazing for my mind as well. We have everything that we need to be able to cook and have like a true kitchen in this unit. And then we also have a great space for family living. So that has just made it such a homey space. And honestly, it is just the right size so that I can clean it every day. And I feel like I can get, keep up with the housework so that every single night when we're done with all of that hard work inside and we're so dirty and sweaty and gross, I feel like we have a nice place to retreat to.
Now, one of the nice things about the Alliance Delta 294RK is the counter space for us. Because we are living in here and because we are full-time YouTubers, it's nice having the little bar area that's right here in front of me where we can set up our camera and do live streams. We have enough prep area in that, so the biggest challenge is, when we're not using our camera, we just have to put it away. I'm used to being able to leave it out in our studio, back in Fort Lauderdale. But in the RV, because we have limited space, we're trying to not feel as cluttered, so we just put it away, and then I'll use that space for cooking, or I'll use that space for editing videos and things like that. But even the counter space behind us has made it feel like we're not giving up anything. I mean, we have this Have a dishwasher that we did a review on. I'll leave a link up there. It's been nice to actually just have a dishwasher and not have to, wash everything. We are using paper plates a lot just because we're trying to make things a little bit easier, and for the first few weeks we were dealing with really bad sulfur smell water. Our Blue Technologies filter definitely helped, but it did not completely eliminate that sulfur smell. Now that we've got a good well system in the house, that has definitely alleviated that. But having this to wash our air fryer basket, wash our utensils, keep our bottles, because I have my SodaStream bottles, I keep my SodaStream machine back there. Keeping everything washed has been really nice. We really haven't been using the stove too much just because it's been over 100 degrees every day and we're super hot, and really we don't really have time or energy to cook. So we've been using a lot of different types of keto products like Keto Chow and Keto Brick, and then our air fryer. So we have our Tasty air fryer that I actually did a review on our keto channel. This air fryer is amazing. It's perfect for an RV. It's the perfect size. We recently cooked baby back ribs in it, and it cooked the baby back ribs in 2 hours. And I was shocked because, I am a barbecue fiend. I am a smoking fiend. As a matter of fact, I got to go home to Fort Lauderdale tonight, and I'm thinking about bringing our trailer so I could bring our smoker up. But I was impressed with the quality of the ribs when they came out of there in just 2 hours, where you can literally pull the bone out of the meat and the meat was still perfectly intact. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. So the layout of this RV has been perfect for us for full-time living. And I'm the last person that would have thought that we would be living full-time, or at least temporarily full-time in an RV. But we're going to be living in this RV for probably the next 4 to 6 months. Now, before we end the video, let's talk about a couple of challenges that we've had. What has been the biggest challenge for you with living in the RV, especially in the conditions that we're living in? We're not living in the RV in a luxury RV resort with full hookups.
Definitely, it has been the dirt and rocks and just the grime, because we're renovating a house and the demolition itself is creating a lot of construction dust and yuck. So the fact that, we bring all of that, all the outside farm life, the mud and everything gets tracked in, ants,
bugs,
that has been challenging to keep up with it. But the more simply that we live, not having a bunch of clutter, makes it so that I can get in and clean all of those, nooks and crannies. I have my broom. I have a Swiffer type of wet jet thing. And then, of course, we have kind of a dustbuster type of utensil. And really, that's been all I've needed.
So for me, the biggest challenge, and I think for really both of us, has been the energy, has been electricity. Because we don't have a standard 30 or 50 amp hookup. We have a regular household plug. And so having the Victron system, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video,
game changer,
definitely has helped, because, if you didn't have that, we'd basically have to be boondocking. And so we have the 10 amp, that helps with the batteries. We have the solar on the roof. And, the challenge has been we can only run one AC, and it's Florida. And honestly, the AC can't keep up with the heat. I mean, I'm thinking about like tinting these windows. When I go actually back to Fort Lauderdale, I have some of those, that silver bubble stuff. I'm going to look and see if I have enough and maybe put that in the windows. That'll at least help with some heat rejection. But during the day, the AC can't keep up. We're lucky if we can get inside of the RV to like 78, 79 degrees. So what we've been doing is setting it for about 80 to at least keep it sort of cool in here and everything isn't melting. But then you have to remember, you can't run, you know, your microwave and the dishwasher and the AC at the same time. I mean, you can, the Victron system will do it, but we will quickly drain our battery and then we won't have enough for at night. So it's been a bit of a challenge in adjusting to like the energy consumption and pretty much living as if we are boondocking, because we only have 10 amps to recharge those batteries.
Well, like we said though, life is lived beyond the couch. So we're not in our RV all day long. And usually when we are camping, we save being in the RV for the evening time. Usually we're either out on an adventure, or in this case, we're able to be working on our house during the day. So I think it's really important that you have a solar system. I think that having a solar system like our Big Beard battery system allows us to be able to do more with our RV, which is like, you know, whether we're boondocking or we're staying for extended periods of time and only have like that household plug, it's really just made more possible.
Yeah, it definitely has shown us that if we wanted to boondock for an extended period of time and brought a small generator, we would definitely be able to function, because a small generator is only going to put out about 10 to 15 amps anyway. And I'm talking about like the little, you know, 2,000 watt Honda or the 2,000 watt Harbor Freight generator, which is actually, we have one of those. Bringing that along with the system that we have would keep us going for a long time. So super excited about that. But we're going to end this video here. If you want to see more on the progress for our house, make sure you subscribe to our keto channel. And we are also getting ready to launch another channel completely dedicated to this property. It's going to be called the Double K Farm. And we'll leave all of that information down below once that channel goes live. Now, if you like seeing videos like this, if you've gotten any use out of this video, please do us a favor, hit that like button down below. That does two things. Number one, it really does help build the channel, which we greatly appreciate. This is our full-time job. But more importantly, what it does is it lets us know what kind of videos you guys are looking to see.
Also, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell button. And that way, every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time,
Happy camping!